Let's get personal with Latonya Rae. Celebrity Media TV. Banging with the drum, whipping off the lot. Yeah, I'm headed to the top. I bet you ain't know. Got nothing for the ops, ignoring all the thoughts. Yeah, I'm headed to the top. I bet you ain't know. Banging with the drum, whipping off the lot. Yeah, I'm headed to the top. I bet you ain't know. Got nothing for the ops, ignoring all the thoughts. Yeah, I'm headed to the top. I bet you ain't know.
Hey. This is the Really Charlie podcast here. Today's guest will be New Bedford's own, Atlanta's adopted Rae Fortes from Let's Get Personal with Latonya and Rae. The girl is doing some good things, and we're going to get her on the air in a few seconds here. She's vibrant. She's inspiring. She definitely can get you motivated to do some good things, So without further ado, I'm going to add her to the screen and we're going to talk to her a little bit. So your comments are welcome. Any questions you have for her, please send a comment to us. And this is coming to you from StreamYard, and it'll eventually be on Anchor, Facebook, the Really Charlie group on Facebook and YouTube. All right. So without further ado, Rae Fortes.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm trying to get it right. This is the first time I ever used this. This is pretty interesting.
I love it. It's easy,
I like it.
I can
it's different. Are you able to share through Facebook with it?
You can. You gotta what I suggest to everyone is to if they're friends of yours, they're gonna see it. But if you want it open to the public, what you got to do is kind of create a group on Facebook and then get it aired through there. But I get on YouTube with StreamYard, and then they teach me every day, what I need to know. And but it's definitely it's good. It's actually, especially it's you could do a whole lot of other things a little bit better than what Zoom offers you. So I love StreamYard, and it's great, especially with COVID and all that. I can reach out to a lot of people.
So, no matter where they're from. See, Atlanta. We got Atlanta with you today.
I love it. Atlanta is good to me. I got family there. They're doing great things out there, and with you out there, you can capture that what's going on out there and then broadcast it to us out here, and in mass, and we can see what's going on. But I'm loving your podcast. I'm loving your show. You girls are doing some good things, very, very interesting stuff.
Yep, we're trying to uplift people. Yes. It's a hot time right now for people. So people need it.
But are you well? Family's well?
Family's well. Everybody's well. Thank God. Your family's well?
Yes, we are. We're doing the best we can. Got some sad news today, but from our friend Tabby Richards, New Bedford gentleman, Bay Village kid, a veteran of 2 U.S. wars, and he passed away this morning. So he's very, very dear to me, and so I'm hurting a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
We're hurting a whole lot, actually. I can't say a little bit. This dude was unbelievable, and sorry to see that we lost a good one.
Yeah, and definitely prayers sent for you and also to his family, and everyone else who is going through a hard time due to this. And there's a lot of people, like I'm hearing a lot of stuff about New Bedford, where things are happening. So definitely prayers sent to his family and all his loved ones and all his friends. Sad.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm sorry to hear that, Charlie.
Yeah. First, I mean, you left here and took off. I mean, you left us and later we find out you're down there, some of your friends out here. So what happened? What made you do this move?
My boys. So my sister was living here with Rae DeBarros. She's married to Rae DeBarros. Remember Stingray?
Yes.
So she married Rae DeBarros, and she was out here, and she was trying to get me to come out here, and I really didn't want to go because I love New Bedford. I still love New Bedford.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought about it for my boys because I wanted a different life for my boys.
Okay.
So then I moved to Atlanta, and it was a rough transition because, back home, everybody's Cape Verdean. Everybody knows everybody. It's like a family network out there, So coming here is like just strangers. So it was almost like stranger danger.
Okay. All right.
It was really hard. And it was hard for my boys as well. But then after I got over that hump, I was like, okay, well, what does Atlanta have to offer me? Let me go get it.
Yes.
Whatever it is.
There's plenty of opportunities out there, and you just got to find it, and it's a city, and it's wide open. You got to go get it if you want it. And I'm glad that you're doing your thing.
Yeah, it's definitely there. It's definitely there for what people want to do. You just have to have the drive. That's what it is. If you got the drive, you could do it. You definitely could do it. I actually, when I moved here, I was working for an attorney's office back home. Then once I moved here, I didn't really want to work for attorneys anymore, but that's where the money was. So I was like, okay, well, that's what I have to do. And then I ended up going up the ladder. I mean, I just kept growing and growing. And now I'm a manager at the same place that I started. When I moved, I've only had one job. And it's the same job. It's been about 15 years, but now, I'm a manager there. It's a large law firm. It's Motley & Associates. It's one of the largest law firms in Atlanta. So I grew there. And then I started thinking about the entertainment when my son, Ray Walker. So he's an artist. And I was like, okay, I'm going to manage him. Don't know what I'm doing, but that never stops me. So I just figured it out. And then I started being in the entertainment industry. And then after that, then Latonya, she had this vision. She wanted to have this talk show. So she came to me, God put it in her heart and said, it's Rae. Rae has to be your co-host. So then she asked me, I accepted, and we've been off and running since.
Yeah. Well, you guys are a great combination. I mean, it's interesting. I'm on YouTube. I'm trying to see what's on your page to check y'all out, see what you're doing. And it's actually stuff that I want to do. So Rae Denton, you're already inspiring me to kind of do something else, So I'm very, very happy that you're down there. We got a few people. We got Nathan Victor saying hello to you.
Hi. How are you, Nathan? Hope all is well.
Yeah, that's another brother. He's got a lot of strength inside and out. He's doing his thing and trying to get healthy, and I love him to death.
Yes, love always.
Yep. Mike Kahn says, yo, already know that's my girl, Rae. Proud of her, and she hasn't forgotten New Bedford. Yeah, absolutely right, Michael Kahn.
I love Michael Kahn. And you know what's funny? I'm not sure I ever met Michael Kahn, but we had talked probably, it was last year. It was before the Cape Verdean festival that we normally would have in he was like, he reached out and he wanted to give me an award.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I love what you're doing, and I want you to be recognized by your people. And I was like, wow, that was so amazing, right? So then, of course, COVID hits and we couldn't do it this year. So, but he never gave up. I'm telling you, he should be my PR because he is out here supporting me. And like, he's like, you need to be on the Charlie Perry show. You need to be on that show. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I'm telling you, you had contacted me. He must have contacted you right away. You contacted me, and then he contacted me back. It was he contacting you. I'm like, Charlie's already on it.
He's trying to get paid, but I'm on a fixed budget, you know. The only way I can pay him.
It's coming. It's coming, Mike. Yes.
But he does that. He does that for a lot of us. And he's definitely going to put that connection between one or two people to get things going. So shout out to Mike Kahn for doing what he's doing. So Nate Victor says she was a cheerleader for me when I played for the Redskins.
I was a cheerleader. I love cheerleading. They always used to want to put me on the top of the thing because I was always the smallest one. So they always wanted to put me on the top. I didn't like that, boy, but I definitely was a Redskins cheerleader. Yes, I was. Funny. Bring back memories.
Check this out. Robin Santos, my girl, said, love you, and I'm so proud of you. I hated to see you go, but I'm so glad you did. My besties forever. Yep, Robin.
Yes.
Robin's good people.
My best, yep, she's a bestie forever. That's one thing. Every time I come home, I'm knocking on her door. And it's so funny because she doesn't really, Robin. Robin's like, who's at my door? As soon as she sees my face, it goes from a frown to a smile. I get happy. I always surprise her. I never let her know I'm coming.
She's gonna let out that big scream. And
yep, she starts laughing with that laugh. I love her.
Yeah,
I love New Bedford. I miss. Aww.
Beautiful. Yep, definitely. So what I'm trying to do is just try to connect to New Bedford people, local people, and trying to put their story out there so they can be an inspiration. And I've known you for years, and I know your family for years. It even goes back to our parents knowing each other. So there's a decades of connection between us. Yes. So, and like I said previously, I love what you're doing. We talked about between you and I. You mentioned something about a blanket drive. Can you explain that?
Yes. So last year in Atlanta, and they're doing it again this year, we teamed up with Blanket the Streets, and we gave out blankets to the homeless. Okay. So I ended up going home that last Thanksgiving. So I got with my cousin Rae Fortes, and I was like, let's do Blanket the Streets New Bedford. And he was down for it. So we got some kids together, because you always have to teach the kids. My hat goes to the kids.
Yes.
They're our next generation. So got the kids together, and we went and bought blankets, and we went and gave blankets out to the homeless. One thing I learned last year with that, because it was like we were searching for homeless people. It's so different than Atlanta. Like Atlanta, they're like everywhere. We actually were going in the cut looking for homeless people. Okay. But what I've learned this year, because what I'm trying to do this year is get some businesses, which I already have Burns and Forts Consulting. They are going to have a drop box. Okay. And I'm trying to get different businesses, maybe like just 4, just to have, the more the merrier though. And have some drop boxes where people can drop off blankets, hats, coats, anything that somebody will be warm with. And then what we could do is, instead of doing it where we go out to the homeless because of what's happening, with COVID, that we just drop off to shelters, because I found out this year that the shelters, they'll let everyone stay in the shelter if it's really cold.
Okay.
So I want to kind of reach out to the shelters. So I did like a Facebook Live maybe a few weeks ago for New Bedford, and people reached out and they were like, when you do it, let me know. I want to help. So I'm trying to just get everybody together and let's just flood the streets of New Bedford. Let's help our city out. That's always my city.
Exactly. I'm down for most things. All I can say is yes or no. If someone asks me to do things, but when it comes to the community, and I definitely all for it. I'll make time to give a little time if that's all I have to give. So, but I'll definitely be down for that. All I can do is help out. And there's one thing that I try to, I get involved with a few things, but once you put it out to New Bedford or social media, now you're going to get 4 or 5, maybe even 20 people instantly. So I'm helping. I'm down. I'll help you out. And when it comes to the blankets and the homeless, there's no doubt in my mind that there'll be more than enough people to spread the word and get those blankets out to the unfortunate. So
yes, that's important. Like I feel like when it comes, it could be any of us out there. Something go wrong in like 2 seconds and we could be homeless. So we definitely have to look out for, our homeless people, and there's children too. Children, mothers, fathers. I mean, nobody's exempt from it. So that's why in order to help them and at least give them something for the winter, the only way to do it is all of us come together. It takes a village. I'll do my part. And the good thing about it is that people don't have to do a lot, because I understand people have a busy life and there's a lot going on in the world right now. So even just a little something helps,
Yeah, it's just a little bit of energy, a little bit of heartfelt, energy goes a long way, and we definitely have it, especially coming from this city. So
yep, and it's such a tight city. Let me tell you something. I'm so sad right now because I would have already been home like since I think it was last Thanksgiving I was home. I go home every 2 to 3 months. Okay. So this is really really hard not being able to be home and go see my family. It's very tough. And my kids are in Rhode Island. So I don't have family here.
All right. Well, from what I see, you're creating a nice big family there. Latonya and
I have Latonya.
Yep.
I definitely have Latonya and her brother.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So we got some comments here. Someone saying says, "Hey Rae, good to see you." She comes from good stock, so not surprised. She turned out to be an amazing person. Of course, yes, you are. You're a very amazing person.
Thank you.
People saying, so we already talked. I'm down for sure. It says Facebook user, so I can't tell without going on another screen. But we'll see that later. That's the one thing about StreamYard. We can go on later and kind of address these comments if we don't get to during the show. So, and count on Mr. Victor here. It said she misses the food.
I do. I miss, what? I love the food, and I miss all the seafood. I don't even really eat it too much out here because I wait till I go home, because there's nothing like back home food, especially Cape Verdean food. I miss the Cape Verdean. I'm like, I can cook it though. That's one thing. I can make some with you. Definitely.
And this is Joey saying, "Hi Rae, it's been years. Was just with little Paul at the gym." Yeah. Hey, between Joey and Paul, always at the gym,
Always. Hi, Joey. Nice to see. Well, nice to hear from you.
Yes. So,
So much love.
and,
Beautiful.
it's funny that being Cape Verdean, that we can cause a debate with just the food that we eat. Like you say, manchupa.
Manchu,
Chupa.
kachupa.
Yep. And
Is that what you say, kachupa?
chupa, yeah. And I got schooled by my son-in-law. You know, he's born in Cape Verde, and he tells me kachupa, and I can't argue with him. I can't, even though my family grew up saying manchupa, but you know what? Kachupa will be for the rest of my life. So, but the craziest thing is we talk about that, and then you go on all the Cape Verdean Facebook pages, and somewhere down the line, there's always a debate about it, about those, what do you call it?
Yeah,
And it's interesting. And
it really is.
but I ain't gonna argue with someone that was born there. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Yep, it is what it
And
is.
fall in line.
Yep.
But I thought that it was dependent on the island.
And
Which island you're from, it is what it would be called. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but
I know
hey,
it is what it is.
it's good. Whether it's kachupa or manchupa.
Yep, I'm gonna grab a spoon and a pop or something. This is Michael Joe Santos said, "Love you, your family." Michael is
Love you.
Hey, that's Robin's brother,
I know, and I always call him, his nickname, but I'm trying to get that.
He ain't getting away from that nickname.
No, he's not.
Nope.
No, he's not. He always, I'm sure he did it to you with the whole whistle thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did he used to get you all the time where whistle and you're looking to see if it's did you hear that? Yeah. And then it's him on the side of you all the time, and I fell for it for I don't know how many years. I love Michael.
I was onto it, and I always paid attention when he was around. But he caught me maybe a year and a half ago at the NAACP building, and we were coming out, and he's like, "Charlie," and I'm like, and I looked real quick, and he got me. I said, "You sucker! I shouldn't be falling for it. I'm the one that's always laughing at everybody else, But
and they were laughing at you that day, yeah.
Yeah, it got me good, So, all right. So you're at Atlanta. You're down in Atlanta. You do your show. Talk to us about your show so we can get some followers along the stream to go follow you, because I highly recommend it, because you're talking real stuff on that show. So talk to us about the show.
So basically, it's Let's Get Personal with Latonya Rae, and we're powered by Celebrity Media TV. So we have a talk show where we uplift, inspire, have fun. We interview a lot of celebrities. That's something that we're doing. But we're trying to reach out to the people and show everybody love. So we're very open. And Tanya and I, what's so great is we balance each other off, because I'm more that closed up kind of person. Like, I'll talk, but I could be serious maybe. Yep. Where she's like the total opposite. So we kind of work together, because she takes me where I need to go. I take her where she needs to go. But we try to do things just to make people feel good. Like, what's going on right now in the world, people need to laugh, people need to smile, and then people need the real too. So we give the real, but we give it in such a loving way. Anytime that we interview anyone, they leave as family. Mm-hmm. And they literally feel that way. And we build these relationships just based on our personalities. So we got a lot getting ready to come up 2021. Some stuff has, kind of slowed us down a little bit because of the COVID, but we're ready to roll. Like, I don't know if you've seen Charlie, but Celebrity Media TV has this big truck. Did you see the truck?
Seen it.
The
I seen.
satellite truck? It's amazing. So I definitely want to shout out Celebrity Media TV, John Williams. He's a genius. We were with World Star Hit Radio for a while, and then we switched up, and we're no longer doing World Star, which he was owner for that as well. And now we're Celebrity Media TV. Well, we always kind of been Celebrity Media TV, but that's what we're just trying to do, is uplift people and give people what they want. That's one thing. When people have like a podcast or trying to reach the people, what we try to do is give people what they want. So if they want to talk about beauty, beauty it is. If they want to talk about their music, music it is. And it's funny because people say you got to stay in a lane.
Yeah.
There's no lane.
No.
You can jump in whatever lane you want to.
Exactly.
You know? So that's how we try. It's hard for us because we don't really have a lane. Because we just we love everybody. Female, you know, male, we want everybody. We don't we don't just go in one lane.
That's cool.
So we have a lot of interesting stuff coming up.
And that was one of the questions, actually one of the comments they asked, you know, what guests that what special guests do you have coming up? And, you know, guests are not hard to find. Some, you know, at least for me, if y'all are a go-getter, you're ready to go find or seek a story, you know, you just got to go get it. And but what I see out of you and Tanya is that you girls are actually energetic, that you're just going to go get that story. And I try to keep a good following and tell people to email me so I can get those stories out that you're talking about. You know, it's really, like I say, really, Charlie, it's really what you want to talk about. And regardless of what the subject is, it's always going to lead to a conversation that may lead to another conversation, you know, and then you just talk about it. You talk about
conversation.
Yep. So,
that's the truth. I mean, when people go on an interview, they get like kind of nervous. They're like, okay, what are they going to ask? What are they, you know, they're so worried about what's going to ask. So they're trying to get their answers ready. But when we go on, we just sit back and we just talk, and the conversation just goes, just like what we're doing here. That's why I love your show, because it's just a conversation. It's not something you have to get prepared for. You know what I mean? It's something you're going to talk about the real, and you're just going to get what's real. And that's a conversation, you know?
Exactly. You got my cousin Anthony say, good for you, girl. Glad to see you're doing well. Cousin Charlie, this is a awesome podcast, cuz good stuff going. Yeah, you know, I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. Keep on bringing people together. The next show, we got somebody else, that local, Chops Turner. He's going to be on Saturday. So, you know, I'm just trying to get things going. What's Danielle Andrews? I like to get her on there. You know, she's singing, she does her thing. So, nice. but this is about Rae right now. So, Rae,
hey,
all right, what do you want to talk about today? You know, other than what we talked about.
So, I want to let everyone know. So I know, as far like every Saturday, I spend time with the kids, right? It's virtually, it's with the Big Bethel Youth Academy. And what we do is we teach the kids different things, you know, like earthquakes, just different things, even voting, just different things going on in the world. And I just wanted to definitely let everyone know in New Bedford that the kids can go on Saturdays. They can just reach out to me. I'll send them the link. And once they have that one link, they can come on anytime. It's from 1 to 2 on Saturdays. And I think it would really be very beneficial for the kids in New Bedford.
Exactly.
So I wanted to definitely just reach out to me. I'll send you the link. I'm there every Saturday, 1 to 2. And it's virtual. So we have a lot of fun. So I definitely want to throw that out there.
Oh,
Because
well,
the kids are, I don't know what's going on in New Bedford with the kids. If I was living home, I'd be doing something with the kids. I already know, because that's where my heart's at. And definitely that's why I want to bring New Bedford. I want to bring the kids of New Bedford in, because now everything can be virtual.
mhm.
So now they could be in Atlanta right with us.
Yes,
And I would love that. I would really love that.
exactly.
Mhm.
In fact, I got to reach out to a young kid that I had at Keith Middle School when I was there, and he's been doing some music. So I talked to his dad, and he's doing real well. He's actually producing something now, so that's one of the stories I got coming up soon.
Oh, nice.
But he, like you said, he's a kid. When it comes to kids, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try to do something, whatever I can, and but
They need us.
they need us. Yep. Some don't have some guidance, and you can't let them do things on their own, because if they're doing it on their own, they may think it's right when it's actually bad. So we gotta actually, or wrong. So we gotta pay attention to them.
Mhm.
The street.
Depression's real too with our younger generation. You know,
Undiagnosed mental illnesses and stuff like that. So there's a lot,
yeah, they
definitely.
need us.
So
And sometimes they don't want to talk to their parents, And just like when I was young, like my mother could tell me one thing and I'd be like, huh, no, that's not true. But then somebody else told me, and I'm like, ooh, really? Is that
yeah,
really what's going on? So, sometimes it takes that outside person just as long as the parents trust, then it takes that outside person for them to kind of just listen to us and understand. And you're right, Charlie, when you said we have to pay attention, it's true. We definitely have to pay attention, because I dealt with, well, not me, well, as a mother, one of my sons deals with depression,
yeah,
my artist. And that's something I didn't know was going on. And it started in elementary school. And
so
I wasn't paying attention. I was young. I was hanging out with my friends, with the kids in the room. You know how we do, right? Kids are
hmm
in the room while we're all hanging out. And all that time, my son was dealing with depression. I didn't find out until he was like 18 years old. And it
wow,
broke my heart to know that he dealt with that all his life.
hmm
So that's something definitely that you have to pay attention. You have to really pay attention to the kids, because you don't know what they're going through.
true, so true.
Yeah.
I I try to you just mentioned about it's got to be a person that you trust, and what I try to do is sometimes kids need to hear what their parents are saying, but through another voice, another mouth, like you're saying. They just need to, and that used to happen to me, especially when I was playing sports. I would hear something from my mom, my uncles, my grandmother, and then talk to the coach later on, and then the coach or the teacher saying exactly what they said. So I'm saying, man, I guess they're right. I better do the right thing, or that's
Mhm.
do this, and so takes a village, like you said.
It really does. But you know what? Like, one thing that is big that I'd like everyone to know is, when it comes to doing what you want to do, just go do it. Don't sit there, because I made excuses. Oh, well, it's not the right time, or I don't have enough money, or whatever it is. But God will give you what you need to follow your dream, and anything can happen. Like, so just continue to follow your dreams. If you have something, that goal for 2021, run with it, because
Exactly.
as long as you're running, God's gonna fill everything that you need and put you in place with the right people. Because
hmm
every time I turn around, somebody is blessing with something, and I'm like, wow, I didn't really think that I could do that. And then here it goes. Somebody's like, oh, well, I have the studio that if you want to, you can come over here, you can do it. And I'm
hmm
like, wow, like I was just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
God will give you what you need when you need it. So follow your dreams.
So, A little. I've been wanting to do this podcast for about a year. Yeah, about a year. I got an invitation to go to New Bedford Guide. I went there for a little bit, and then things kind of hit with COVID, so you couldn't go in the studio So I said, well, maybe it's time for me to kind of backtrack and do the podcast, the streaming, and I'm glad I got it done. But sometimes you just got to push yourself, and that's what I did. I try to. I don't need any motivation. Some people do, but I really don't. If there's something I want, I'm gonna go get it.
Go get it.
Need any motivation, but I don't mind motivating other people to do things because it's more voices, more ears. We've got to listen to each other. I want to just kind of create another venue for our community, whether it's here or there where you're at, to speak out and say something or teach somebody.
Have a voice. That's right.
Mr. John Clark says, I'm trying to learn me something today. So that I always repeat that, man, and it's so true. So
that is true. That you just got to go get it. You just got to go get it. And so, you know what? Sometimes it just takes you to do it for somebody else to see that they can do it.
You tag along.
So that's great. Like Stephanie, what Steph's doing out there, Stephanie Creations. I mean, she's amazing.
Yes.
I don't understand why she's amazing. I'm trying to bring her stuff to Atlanta. And that's what we need to do, Charlie. We all need to come together. See, the one thing is support. And that's kind of sometimes something that's hard. But if everybody just came together and supported each other, and every time you're on, I cheered it. What is it? A click of a button, right? That's all it is.
That's all.
I cheer it. When I'm on, somebody else share it. Somebody else is on. I'm always sharing somebody's stuff because we need that support in order to keep going. That's really. Somebody said something. I couldn't see that. That was kind of.
I took it off because I wanted you to finish what you were saying. Then we'll put it back on. So go ahead.
So that everybody just needs to support one another. Like the support that I'm starting to get is great. New Bedford is definitely supporting me. Cape Verdeans are supporting me from all over. So and that's what we need. In order to get there, we need that. And then not only that, then you think once somebody gets there, they're gonna remember who was there. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna because I'm trying to just build everybody and bring everybody on. I'm trying to definitely New Bedford. I'm trying to make sure New Bedford is taking care of everybody in it, what they're doing, the kids, the community. I mean, even though I live here, my heart is there.
Yes, and it
all the time. It's sad. It's sad.
So you'll be back. You'll be back soon.
Eventually, I'm gonna have a house there and a house here.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna do.
I got a comment from David Bizarro. He says, "Hi, Charlie. Listening to Rae and you talking about empowering kids. I have 2 kids. I'm trying to empower with a golden opportunity. Hold on. It says, both kids from either Roosevelt or the Whaling City High School. Listening to someone else other than me would help. Well, I'm going to reach out to you, David. I'm going to reach out to you so I can talk to them also. And it would come out my mouth. It's pretty much, I guarantee you, it's going to be the same thing you're thinking, but I would like to do that, and I'm going to reach out to you soon. Later than Thursday, I'll reach out to you so I can set up something. So
nice. That's beautiful. I'm happy. I'm happy right now.
We got Nikki Gonzalez saying great stuff. Michael Kahn, awesome, very informative. This is great. This is what I'm talking about. We're all trying to praise each other. There's and it just gets you motivated and inspired. So, but
Sure does. It's beautiful.
so what's your next show? What's happening next with you and
So, okay, so on Mondays we have elevation evenings with Bernadette Clockwright, and she does some elevation. It's really not. It's really empowering. I mean, you definitely will be elevated. You definitely tune in, and that's Monday nights at 8:30. And also we have Dr. Charles Wilkerson on Wednesdays. And basically, he talks about health and wellness. And we talk about the craziest stuff. Like, we keep people laughing, but it's real. But we're really definitely reaching some topics that are really important. We do that on Wednesdays. And then on Tuesdays, we have that. Those are our interviews.
okay.
And we'll have like we had King James Worthy on last Tuesday, awesome artist, R&B artist. And as they come, then we come on Tuesday. So it's not every Tuesday. It's as we do that,
Okay.
as we do the interviews that way. But I mean, we do community events. I'm sure we're going to be out there trying to be safe, of course, during this whole inauguration coming up. We might be getting some behind the scenes stuff there. You know, I'm kind of funny style because I'm like, I want my mask and everything. Like, I come on, like, I should have a suit on because I'm not playing with that. And it's serious. Especially, you know, out here, it's open. Atlanta's open right now.
Wow.
So yeah. So that's kind of you see stuff. If you go follow Let's Get Personal with Latonya and Rae, you will see everything that we have coming up, and definitely go ahead and follow us and support us.
I am. I'm already on it. So and what I'm going to do is actually whatever I see, I'm going to copy. I'll copy the link, put it on the Really Charlie group on Facebook.
Thank you.
Everything. Share. I'm going to use my group to kind of advertise other groups, you know, like yourself, and go from there. So,
you know what would be beautiful, Charlie? Like, when I go home now, I have a whole nother sense of New Bedford, the beauty of the city, right? So, you know, as you're young and you're living there, you don't really pay attention to the beauty of the city, right? The beach and everything. So there's so much history there and nobody knows about New Bedford. Like, when I say New Bedford, they're like, what? I say Cape Verde and they say, what? So I'm trying to bring awareness to Cape Verdeans as well as to New Bedford and the beauty of the city. Is there something out there like that people can go to see that? Because I mean, it's beautiful. There's so much history there.
Yeah, there is there are some, especially some new artists that are in the city. They're posting videos, they're doing different things. So there's quite a few things that you know, real informative. Even the historic park, they're trying to put some links so people live and learn about New Bedford, and so I'll actually try to share a bunch of them that I know within the next couple of days. One of the things I talked about with New Bedford is you know, maybe a week and a half ago, we were talking about Frederick Douglass, and so and Professor Hoagland was actually mentioning how, you know, the narrative of Frederick Douglass, it's only 55 pages, but this was a New Bedford resident. This is what school in this whole country, actually in this whole world, Frederick Douglass is mentioned all over the world. And he lived here in our city. He spoke to crowds of people during those troubling times, those tragic times. And it got to the point where they were grabbing him and taking him to different locations, whether it be in other states up north, bringing them to Nantucket to speak to people. So his narrative is only 55 pages long. And so Professor Hoagland was mentioning about, that he wanted that to go into our New Bedford school system. So kids, at a young age can learn and read his story so they can actually get educated. And it would be something nice. It would be something that I would like to see because, we would have students here in New Bedford that can go and move on to different places, whether it's, another school, and they can talk about Frederick Douglass in depth, to educate some other people about him other than what they're reading, So, and all right, we actually got a comment on this section on this subject right now. It says Frederick Douglass was the most photographed person of the 20th century, and I agree. I mean, dude he's all over the place, and thank you, Nate. I appreciate that.
That's the truth. And I didn't know about him. Like, I knew about him in when we had social studies a little bit around Black History Month, maybe.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that he was in New Bedford and the whole facts about it until I was grown.
Yes.
Then I was so excited. I was like, oh, he probably, how we had those little teepee towers. I was like, oh, he probably was right up there. Yep. I was so excited about it. Now I tell everybody, well, Frederick Douglass was in New Bedford when all that was going on, but I didn't know that as a child.
Yeah, he actually, it was on 7th Street he lived. And actually there was another location. So there was several locations, and he ended up being on 7th Street and then went somewhere on Acushnet Avenue and lived there. And then later on moving up towards the Boston area eventually. So, he has, he was a resident here who was doing things. His first job ever, his first legit job was here in New Bedford.
Wow.
On Union Street. So, so we got to spread some history on him and let people know his attachment to New Bedford. So,
yep, I agree. That'll be nice. I don't worry. I'll be listening. I'll be listening and reading and all that and putting it out there. Just like what you do, Charlie. I'm gonna share your stuff. I definitely, people need to hear what you have going on because you're doing amazing. I think that it's great that you're the voice of New Bedford. You know what I mean? People can come and talk about the different thing that's going on. It's beautiful. So I'm supporting you 110%.
Thank you. And right back at you too. Right back at you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, and I just learned that some people may not be able to speak and talk about Frederick Douglass and they want to teach someone about Frederick Douglass, so they don't know how to get all that information out there. But there is YouTube videos that have his narrative where it's actually, it's audible. It's dictated to the audience, so you can actually talk to a classroom just based on that YouTube video and actually just just learn some history about him. So
nice.
Look at that. See, we talk about what we really want to talk about, and we mentioned Frederick Douglass, and the conversation starts. It says Frederick Douglass was very instrumental in the implementation of the 54 Regiment, which is another tie to New Bedford, where they were getting the black soldiers, and as they say, Negro soldiers. That word drives me crazy, but I gotta say it. When they were signing up, and getting ready to go down south to fight the war, and that starts right here, right where we hung out as kids. Where we went to, growing up to Carter's Clothing, and then guess what? Just a half a block. That's where they were all signing up to go to the war. you know. So, but
And did you know that when you was a child? When you were young, did you know any of this?
well, not until I got I actually went on a visit to well, I knew about Gomes School, but I was at Gomes School, and then we went to Kearney, and then that's when I started getting to know some history about the 54 Regiment, and that wasn't until I got to Kearney. I was just visiting there, and then I said, "Wow, Sergeant Kearney, this dude's well known." And then you see in the text about New Bedford, Mass, and where he lived, and so on and so forth. And I'm saying, "Wow." So I caught it at a young age. Really didn't start following it until later on in high school, where I got a bulk of the history. So we're fortunate. You know, we are fortunate.
Yes.
Christine Burgo, she says that Dr. Waters told us all this. Yes, and so Christine, yep, Dr. Waters was he was the dude, man. He was gonna make.
I love Dr. Waters. You said was. Is he?
No, I didn't. That was a.
Oh, okay, just making sure because I love Dr. Waters.
No, he's.
I went to Connie Daycare. Like I didn't go to the school, but I went to Connie Daycare, and also they had a tag program, talented and gifted children, that they took us off site like on Tuesdays, and I would always go see Dr. Waters. He was like my favorite guy ever. He's still my favorite guy. I love Dr. Waters.
He can lead the whole school all by himself. I mean, the dude was just inspiring. He command that respect.
That's right.
Leadership, and you didn't have any problem following it because it was legit.
Yeah,
it's coming from a guy that had a dear heart for his students, his community. So, you know, I'm glad that he did what he did. Nathan,
he's a legend to us, right?
Yeah, he is a legend. You know, all respect to Dr. Waters. He's still doing his thing in and around the city.
Nice.
Nathan
I would love to run into Dr. Waters. Love it.
In fact, if I see him, I will definitely.
Yes, please.
Because you know what? He don't forget names. He'll remember. He doesn't.
You know what? It's so funny because everybody was scared of Dr. Waters too at the same time.
Yeah.
For me, he was always so nice to me. He used to be like, "Oh, yo, one of his favorite." Because I was always just a good girl, Like I didn't do nothing. I eased my way in with Dr. Waters, and he had that little soft spot. I love Dr. Waters. Yes, definitely. If you see him, I would really appreciate it if you let him know that I said hello. And I'd love to see him.
Nate Victor says Frederick Douglass' history was made known to him, to him through Dad and Gabriel. And it says, while I was in the first grade, I was blessed. And that's so true that a lot of people got a taste of it at an early age, and you really need to, we need to do that too, because I would like to let kids know at an early age about Frederick Douglass. And I'm pretty sure the New Bedford school system and the teachers are trying to do it as best they can. But I think they're focusing on Frederick Douglass when it's February. We need to focus on him from August to June, and make sure that our local kids are hearing it, hearing the right story. So,
they know their history of their city, the beauty of they'll probably, appreciate things a little more. I ended up appreciating New Bedford as I got older. Exactly. I took everything for granted, all the beauty in the city.
Yeah, with me taking off and leaving there for 5 years and then coming back, I got that appreciation for the city. And
where'd you go? You left?
Well, I went to LA for 3 years, and I was in Florida for 2. And then I came home at a good time, because that's when I actually started my career. And thank God I did come back, because you know, I appreciate what I did for that length of time, and
We appreciate it too, keeping us safe.
thank you. So Nate mentions about Gabriel Kazan, you know, and that's another person. He's a local resident. You know, he's here, but he's a huge part of the civil rights movement. And here he is. He's a local resident. He's here in New Bedford with the students at Woolworth, and you know, so that's another iconic person that's right here in the city. And I'm not saying anyone's, underestimating what he did, but we kind of get sprinkles of his history, and they like to focus on it during Black History Month. And he's a book of knowledge, so we gotta be proud of him also. So
yeah, that would be really nice. He's still up West End.
Yeah, he's still there. Same house,
Nice.
His daughter Camille's right around the corner, so she's close by. We got a friend of mine, Eric Andrade. Eric's doing some good things with him, making sure that he's doing all right.
Good.
So Rodney Victor says Connie was the first elementary school that talked about Black history. And there's no doubt in my mind that they were, because Dr. Waters was there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I went to Rodman. I didn't get that. I didn't get that.
That's right. You on that crazy line where you mind to take a few blocks to go down to the brand new school down there, but they said no.
They said no, but I got to go on Tuesdays. I was happy about that. I still got a taste of Connie.
That was crazy how they did that. And all the kids that were at Rodman, guess what? They could have fit in Connie, I know that my cousins were upset because they had to go to Rodman, and everybody wanted to go to that new school, that new Carney Academy, and they couldn't do it because they had that line. So, and you know how we do, we try to find a relative that lives in the Connie district so you can go there.
And use their address. I did it for my kids. One of my kids ended up going to Connie, very short period of time, but I was like, whose address can I use?
Yeah.
You do what you got to do.
Yeah. Right? It's still a great school. So
yeah, it is.
Another amazing person from New Bedford is Honorable George Layton. Amazing story, which is true. They named him. They put his picture up on the main post office on Pleasant Street. Judge Layton was, I actually got to kind of sit down and do a whole story on that, because people don't realize how important he was. So, but thank you for that reminder, and I'll work on it.
Thank you. I'm going to look into that, because I don't really know much about.
Yeah, he's definitely a good man, and I got some information somewhere. I'll send it through your inbox so you can have it.
Thank you.
Let's see. Got some of my family on there. What's happening? Cuz asked Rae if she's kin to Glenn Fortes. I was stationed with him in San Diego.
Yes, I just found out he was my cousin. Probably like about a couple of years. You know how it goes, right?
Yeah.
You never know who's your cousin, but yes. And I stay in touch with him once in a while. But yes, Glenn Fortes is my cousin. Definitely, San Diego.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Got that connection. Says that's my cousin says, and he was out in San Diego in the Navy, doing his honorable service, the U.S. Navy. Thank you, cuz.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to get him in touch. Actually, Glenn is on Facebook.
He is. Yeah, I think he's like eMusic Ali. I think that's his.
I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up, and then I'll send it to Says so he can get in contact with him. So
nice.
But All right, Ray. Well, we got a couple of minutes. Is anything you want to talk to us about? In closing, I hate to see you
So
go.
I have Designs by Rae, which is jewelry. I'm working on actually Omar with A&A Jewelers up the street in New
Okay.
Bedford on State Road near the
Yes,
mall.
I know
I
where it
would
is.
say up the street because my mother's, everything's up the street from my mother. But um, we're actually getting ready to create some jewelry together, and we're gonna have the, kind of the African little touch to it. So definitely be looking out for that. That should be coming soon. So I'm excited. Like I told you, Charlie, like about the lanes. I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out Designs by Rae because I don't know what lane I really want to be in yet. But 2021, I'm gonna figure that out, and it's gonna come to pass whatever it is that God has for me for Designs by Rae. Because I'm always doing something, trying to design something.
Yeah, you're gonna keep that creative mind going, and what you create is gonna be beautiful. What you create is something that we can support you and buy and purchase, and that's what it's about, supporting who we know,
Yes.
because we go to all these big chains and stores all over the place, supporting them with no questions asked. Need to support our local friends and family that are doing their thing with their
Yep.
businesses, whether it's crafts and art, even if it's a store, a convenience store. I actually tell
Stop there.
people, all the time, and you're buying a house and you're dealing with people. Why don't you deal with someone you know? Give, the real estate agent or whatever that go to them and let them help you out.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, people selling cars all over the place, dealerships. Go speak to that person, Lamont Ferguson selling cars, people buying cars every 2 years, 3 years, Go see
Yeah.
the people because you know what you do? You help them out. They get a check in their pocket. They help out, financially with their family, paying the bills, so on and so forth. So, but
Yeah. Help who you know. That's true. And I'm tired of buying like everybody's clothes, like, the going to Macy's and buying the clothes. Why not wear your own stuff? Right. So
yeah,
I'm like, I'm tired of that. So I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to buy from people like you said that I know,
yeah,
because you support others. People want support, but in order for you to get the support, you got to support too. It's not a one-way street. And then everybody eats, everybody grows, and you get to feel good to know, you know what, I'm supporting my fellow friend, or I'm supporting
exactly.
Charlie Perry, who's trying
Yep,
to make it in this world, because that's what we need. Without support, it's hard. So we all got
exactly.
to come together.
Yes, we
Definitely.
do. Yes, we
Hmm.
do. Um, let's see. Well, I enjoy this. Um,
Yes, me too.
I'm glad we got connected through Michael Kahn. I'm not paying
Thank you,
them for this.
Michael.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
we're actually, we can do other shows. I'm going to continue to find you. Well, I already know where you're at on Facebook, on the internet. I'm definitely going to pay attention to your stories. If you make your broadcast live, I'm going to share it on the Really Charlie podcast or
Thank
page.
you.
And then with that jewelry, send me anything, a website,
I'll
whatever
let
you
you know.
do, and
I'm
we'll go.
excited. Yeah, so everybody follow Let's Get Personal with Latanya and Rae. On Instagram, it's Let's Get Personal with Atlanta. On YouTube and Facebook, Let's Get Personal with Latanya and Rae. On Instagram, I'm Rae 0987 and Rae Fortes on Facebook. And definitely, and also follow Celebrity Media TV. We got a lot coming up. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, my friend.
Thank
You
you for
call
having
me
me,
anytime.
Charlie, on the
Thank
real
you.
Charlie. I was like, really, Charlie? Really? Like, I was gonna say, really, Charlie? Really? I like the really, Charlie. I like the name. You
I
keep
love
doing
it.
what you're doing, because you're doing amazing things, and God is just gonna elevate you, man. I mean, your heart's in it, and that's what's important. Anything that you do that your heart's involved with, God's gonna take you to another level. I see it. I'm excited. I'm so
Thank
excited.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. You're welcome.
you. God bless. And
God
I'll be
bless
talking
you.
to you this week.
All right.
All
Love you
right.
guys.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that was a very, very, very good show. That's what I told you about her. She's energetic. She's got the energy. She's can inspire you to do whatever you need to do. She's gonna listen to you. Definitely one of our diamonds, top shelf person, Rae Fortes. And like she said, follow her on Let's Get Personal with Tanya and Rae. Follow her, speak to her, talk to her on another network, another streaming site. And but she's from New Bedford, still cares for New Bedford, and doing wonderful things out in Atlanta. Atlanta's a good spot, and so I'm glad she was on the show. Well, in closing, I want to say, mask those beautiful faces. Use hand sanitizer. Wash your hands. Keep yourself safe and the people around you. I love you. Today I lost one of my dearest friends, my brother, Anthony Tobby Richards. The dude was genuine. If you called him, he was there. And I'm going to truly miss him. Lord, you got an angel in my friend. I'm going to tear up right now, but I'm going to miss him. So, I love you. God bless, people. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. My podcast is on every Saturday here on StreamYard, Anchor, Spotify, and Facebook every Saturday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. So tune in. This coming weekend, we have Chops Turner, our famous singer in the city, co-host with Paul Santos Live. Love the dude. He's going to be on. I'm pretty sure he's going to sing. So tune in on Saturday at 6 p.m. here on Facebook, StreamYard, Anchor, and Spotify. Also, I have a channel on YouTube. Subscribe to that and like my videos. God bless y'all. Have a great night.